Hi guys, I'm going to justify the design choices I made when creating this infographic. I used a few design principles from the Gestalt theory of visual perception, which describe how people organize visual elements into groups or unify wholes. For starters, I used the principle of proximity and alignment to create visual hierarchy of the title here. Proximity means grouping related design elements together, and alignment means that elements are not scattered on a page, but are arranged relative to a line or a margin. This visual hierarchy effect was accomplished by giving the title a larger font size and placing it at the top of the page, making it the dominant focal point. Subdominant focal points were created with the use of colorful graphs, charts, and icons to be the secondary aspect that draws your attention, and subordinate focal points are the smaller text, like the titles and captions of those graphs, charts, and icons. Center alignment is also used within the main title. Everything is aligned along the centered line, as well as all the subtitles and their descriptions, as you can see here. And proximity is also used in this isotype down here because the grouping of all these water droplets and the alignment of them together allows us to perceive them as being a one whole unit. The principle of closure, which means what happens when we look at a shape that's incomplete, doesn't really apply to this infographic because I didn't really use icons with white space. They didn't really have a place to visualize these specific statistics. There's this water spout up here by the title, but that's more just for a visual effect than it is applying the principle of closure. So overall, it didn't make sense to include the principle of closure in this design. The third of Gestalt's principles is similarity and anomaly, meaning what happens when we see objects that are similar to one another. This principle is applied down here in the isotype of these water droplets because they are the same shape, but some are different colors, portraying a difference in proportion of things that are similar. As far as color schemes go, I used an analogous color scheme, using a series of colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. You can see these in the blues and greens that I used within the graphs and charts. And this is an easy way to achieve color harmony, which means that the visual is experienced as presenting a sense of order throughout the color choices. And lastly, the font. A good example is to look in the main title, where I paired a serif font title with a sans serif font subtitle, or the section title, to create contrast. There is also consistency with fonts and their roles. For example, the main title font is unique, but each subtitle or section's title font is the same, assigning these fonts a role of being a subtitle or section title, graph title font. So that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know, and thank you so much for listening to my justification.